Okay, so this is LM Studio Bionic. This is basically the upgrade of the previous LM Studio. So in a nutshell, LM Studio Bionic is essentially similar to ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini desktop apps, except this one is designed to be open source, which means you can run local AI models and you are not tied to any subscription. So this is actually the best option if you want to use open source models for agentic workflow. You can use it to modify content on your folder, on your computer. You can use it for coding, you can use it to generate documents, and there are plenty of other cool things that you can do. So if you are interested with this software, you can navigate to lmstudio.ai, and I think this is actually the future of LM Studio, because why would the company, keep creating or developing LM Studio if the Bionic version is better? But that's just my speculation. But anyway, you can navigate to this website, you can download the program for free. And yeah, this is just some preview. As you can see, you can analyze documents, you can edit documents, and also again, you can use it for coding using local models. It supports real-time voice transcription. You can, of course, download local models like from NVIDIA, from GPT-OSS. There is also LFM, Qwen, Gemma, Mistral, and many others. And yeah, you have the options to actually use some bigger models, like we got the option for GLM, Kimi K3, and DeepSeek, and many more. But even that is optional. I think the biggest selling point is to actually being able to use local models, open source, and it is more private, and you don't have to pay anything. It's just running on your computer. And from what I can tell, this is by far the best open source agentic tool that I have tried. Personally, I have tried many different open source alternatives to ChatGPT and Claude. Like I have tried Hermes Desktop, and then there's also AI on UI. There is also Open Code and some other software out there. But I would say LM Studio Bionic is way more polished. It is easy to use, and also if you have been using LM Studio before, I think going Bionic is quite easy and straightforward. Now, just download the software, install it on your computer, and you can launch the program. So you'll see something that looks like this. And if you have been using LM Studio before, you will actually have access to those models that you have downloaded in LM Studio. But if you haven't, then you need to download the model first. So just go to settings, and then in the local models section right here, you can click explore and just search for a model that you want to download and use on your computer. Now, there are plenty of models, but I'll just keep it short. Basically, just pick a model with the biggest amount of parameters that you can download and use or run on your computer. For example, if you have a computer with 8 GB of video memory, then you might want to select a model with 7 billion parameters, 9 billion parameters. Basically, just look at the size of the model. Like for example here, Qwen 3.5 with 9 billion parameters. The size is 6.55 gigabytes, so that's within the limit of your 8 gigabytes GPU. And the reason why I do not recommend to choose something that is very close to your limit is the fact that this is just the model size. It doesn't include the overhead and also the context window, which is very important. So you might want to select a model with 5 or 6 gigabytes in size, so you still have plenty of room for other things. Now, for me, I have 16 gigabytes of video memory. So let me just show it to you. So as you can see, I got NVIDIA RTX 5060 with 16 gigabytes, though the 2 gigabytes are used for other things, for other programs. So effectively, I have 14 gigabytes, but that should be enough for me to run a model like Gemma 4 with 12 billion parameters. It is only about 7 gigabytes. And I think I can even run it with full context window, so I can use it for coding, for agentic tasks, etc. And also the model comes with efficient capability. It can also use tools calling, that is very important. And it supports reasoning, so it's going to be more intelligent than the regular models. Now, these are models that are being recommended by LM Studio. But if you want to use some other models that have been optimized or customized by the community, you can just search for those models. For example, you can search for Gemma 4. And here, these are some models from Hugging Face, from people that are very good at customizing and optimizing open source models. You can actually select them, and some are designed to be better at coding, some are designed to be better at rendering text or understanding text from a picture, stuff like that. So you can just read at the description and then choose the model that you think is the best. But if you want to be safe and you're not quite sure about it, just select the models that are being recommended by LM Studio. Now, here, as you can see, I don't have to download the model anymore, and I can just click use in new chat. Now, I'll just go back to the main screen, and I'm going to start a new project. So if you want to start a project, if you want to work on a particular folder, you have to click new project. Okay, so let's call this one a Bionic demo. Okay, I'll just enable allow coding, let Bionic run commands in a folder in your computer. That is very important. There are some tasks that can be done easier and faster when you let the AI model to actually run some terminal commands on your computer. Now I'll select a particular workspace. Okay, I actually have this folder that I've created earlier. And I'll just click use folder, click create. And there you go. So here I got the project Bionic demo, and in that folder there is this file, and my first task is going to be telling AI to extract all the documents within this zip file or zip archive. And there are some other things that I'm going to do, like I'm going to modify documents, I'm going to also create a website, which is also possible. And let me tell you something about building a website using LM Studio Bionic. It is way better, way more robust than the other software that I tried, even though I was using the exact same model, which is just crazy. So that's just show that this program is so robust. It is really designed for models that are not the biggest. I think you can use small models and should be fine. Okay, I'll just select Gemma 4 with 12 billion parameters, and I'll tell AI to extract or maybe unzip the edit.zip file and send the message. Okay, now just wait. Initially, it's going to be a bit slower because it needs to load the AI model into your GPU. If you don't have a GPU, you can still use it, though it's going to be using the system memory or RAM, but it is way slower, and I think it is only for people that are very, very patient, but it is very much usable. Now, let me show you my task manager. As you can see, it jumps from 2 gigabytes of usage all the way to 14, almost 15 gigabytes. So it is using about almost 13 gigabytes of video memory, and it is quite close to my limit, but it should be fine. I think it is using the maximum context window. Gemma 4 with 12 billion parameters is not consuming a lot of GPU memory, but if you use all the context window, the maximum context window for the model, I think you are going to use even more GPU memory. Okay, I think this is fine. Now let me just go back. I have successfully unzipped the file, and there you go. As you can see, I got this file. So yeah, that's the point of LM Studio Bionic. It is an agentic AI tool that you can use to modify something in your computer. So it just extract the file by I just tell AI to, hey, do something with this, and it did the work. So that's pretty cool. All right, so there are several documents, and I'm going to tell AI to modify those documents. So let's start with this. I'm going to copy and paste the prompt that I prepared, open the team handbook, fix the heading capitalization, and then fill the empty table row, update the remote work policy from 1 day to 2 days per week, and remove the to-do note. So this is, where is that? Oh, let me just show you. I'm going to open the document. Okay, so here it says that sorry about that. It says that it's just 1 day per week for remote work, which is something that I'm going to change to 2 days. And then there's also the to-do section that I want to remove. Okay, so these are some elements that will be modified by AI. Yeah, I'm using 12 billion parameters model, which is not the fastest. Actually, you can get a model with built-in drafter. So there is actually a new technology that has been quite popular lately, where the model has a smaller AI model, which is a drafter model that can be used to speed up the whole thing. So you can get, double, triple, and even quadruple the speed by just utilizing a model with that capability. But in this case, this one doesn't come with that. So I'm totally a bit slower. But if you have a really good GPU, if you select the best model for speed, you can get something done pretty quickly. So that's my recommendation if you care so much about speed. All right, it is still reasoning, it is still reading. As you can see, there are plenty of steps that it just took just to do the work. It is similar to Claude. I've been using Claude and ChatGPT, and the process is very much the same, but it is open source. I can disconnect my Wi-Fi and it should be able to work just fine. It is using local models, and perhaps the only limitation is how many gigabytes you have on your computer. So for me, I have 16 gigabytes, and that's quite capable. I think I can use it for many things. But there is actually a new technology. So let me just open settings, explore. So here, there is a new technology called a model with 1-bit precision. So Bonsai is one example. Perhaps that they're probably the first when it comes to a 1-bit model. So even though it has 27 billion parameters, which is quite huge, the model is only 4.7 gigabytes. That's crazy. And I actually have done some testing on my previous video, and I can tell you that it is quite a capable model for its size. It is not as good as the original 27 billion parameter models, but for something that is very small, I think you can use it if you are very limited with your GPU. So yeah, just give it a shot, and if you like it, you can keep using it. Okay, it's still doing something. Yeah, it might take quite a while, so I'll just skip a word and I'll show you the next thing that I would do. Okay, now the document has been modified, so I'm going to open it. Unfortunately, the preview doesn't support a .docx document, but at least I can still open it using Microsoft Word. Okay, there you go. So it fixed the capitalization, and also it has changed that the remote work is now allowed up to 2 days. Okay, that's exactly the request. And there is no more to-do section at the bottom of this document. So this is just a quick demo to show you that the Agentic AI tool in LM Studio Bionic is able to modify a document. And if you have lots of documents that you want to customize, I think this is the perfect choice because it's open source, right? It's just very easy. If you are using a paid subscription or credit-based usage, that can be quite expensive. Now let me do one more demo. So here in the folder, I actually have 4 images, and the names are just not very descriptive. So given that I just used the Gemma 4 with 12 billion parameters, and the model do come with a fusion capability, I want to see if it can rename the files based on the scene. So I'm going to tell AI, can you rename all the 4 images in this project with a more descriptive name? Okay, let's send a message. And later after this, we are trying to build a website using an open source model. It's gonna be quite interesting. But anyway, I'll just skip a word and I'll show you the result. Okay, so it's done. It is actually way quicker than I expected. So just rename those files with more descriptive names, and I would say they are pretty accurate. So there is a woman in the forest, ladybug, swimming polar bear, and a cat. So yeah, it's pretty good. The model is definitely able to use its fusion capability via LM Studio Bionic. Now, I will try to build a website. So I'll just start a new project. Let's call this one a website Bionic, and of course allow coding, and I'll just select a new folder. let's call this folder website Bionic as well. You don't have to use the same name for the folder and the project. You can use different names, but ideally, to make it less confusing, you might want to just stick with the same name. Okay, I'll just use this prompt. It's a simple prompt. Create a product landing page for a local first note-taking app, and then these are the features. And also, I want to build that without any framework, so there is no dependencies. And also, it's gonna be simple. It's using a basic or vanilla JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. And yeah, by the way, you can attach files. Like maybe you can tell AI, hey, I want to use this image, or I want to use this color palette. You can do so, but in this case, I'll just let AI to think creatively and build me a website. Now just wait for AI to finish. Okay, so the website has been built in just about 2 minutes, and let me just open the file. Okay, so this is the website that was built by Gemma for 12 billion parameters. Yeah, okay, that is a problem. This is definitely too big. I think it was supposed to be multiple columns, or 2 or 3 columns, but yeah, I think that's just not a big problem. So overall, for just one short prompt, I think it does pretty well. And again, it was built without access to the internet, though you can definitely add a feature where AI can search content on the web. And there are many things that you can do. Like, for example, you can connect to third-party apps via MCP like GitHub, Notion, and many more. So this is just the basic demo, the basic use case. And basically, it's just an AI tool, AI agent that can do something on your computer. And if you want something that is affordable, simple, fast, and reliable and private, then go with LM Studio Bionic. I think this is by far the best tool if you want to experience local AI agent on your computer without much hassle. And in many ways, it's also very popular, so I think they're going to add more features in the future. So I hope you learned something from this video, and if you want to see some really cool things that you can do with AI, then you can subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you on my next video.